is it. The signal is coming from this Spiderbot fragment. No indication yet who it belongs to.
Something's completely mangled it. Christ. What's it doing here?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction. Perfect. 2 more data relays to go. One more data relay and I'll have it.
Come out! Wherever you are! Area's clear. Continuing.
That should do it. Now I'll just take the audio from this stream and the video from these 36 and... got it. Go back to where you found that Spiderbot and I'll show you the AR reconstruction from the night of the explosion.
Grand.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
You brought the payload?
Fuck, think we'd go back here?
Don't trust the Kelly dog.
Kelly? Wait, as in Clan Kelly? You're telling me those gangster folks had something to do with all of this?
I think Kelly's with the supplier. And that makes this a handoff.
So, who was it they were meeting? It didn't seem close. Maybe Zero Day?
Well, don't just stand there. Keep looking.
Bagley, can you work out who was running that spider bot?
I've now fully decrypted the signal the Spiderbot is broadcasting, and while I cannot identify a specific user, it is a call code used by the Metropolitan Police Service.
The police watched this happen. Now I'm interested.
The reconstruction continues behind that rubble.
We don't have some kind of quantum tunneling device in a shed somewhere, do we?
Quantum tunnel technology is at least 10 years away, but Spiderbots and drones are here today. You could try one of those if you don't feel like waiting.
Good idea.
Start something. Twat waffle.
Why don't you aim those human eyeballs of yours at the van's cargo?
Grand.
RDX nitrogen, and the exact same detonator system like the bombs that were planted at Parliament.
0 day.
There, hurry. We've got other deliveries.
So you were hired to supply all the targets?
Shut it, we're all on need to know.
Fuck me. So 0 day was using a bunch of groups to pull off the bombings.
That's certainly one way to pull off a massive coordinated attack while remaining anonymous. 0 day needed manpower and resources, but they needed them at an arm's length. And it doesn't take the world's greatest AI detective to see that both Clan Kelly and Albion benefited in the aftermath. Unfortunately, this is the most we can get out of the AR reconstruction. But if we could find the mystery officer who was spying through the Spiderbot, maybe they could tell us more.
What a nightmare! Oh, I'm gonna want to remember this.
Tracing the Spiderbot serial number, it was assigned to New Scotland Yard 3 years ago. Perhaps more information about its user or its assignment will be available at the station.
So the police were onto the real bombers, but they kept their mouths shut for some reason. Doesn't add up. We don't have all the facts yet.
The only way to know for sure is to investigate New Scotland Yard.
Christ. Albion's taking this place over like a fucking parasite.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatized goon squad, just take your business across the street.
Didn't think I could feel bad for the English police. But fucking hell.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the Spiderbot will be further in.
What was that? You can always surrender. All clear here. Moving on.
Bagley, is this our spider bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of Spiderbot from the Tone bombing site.
Can you ID the last user?
Navigate the Spiderbot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
I'm on it.
It's your funeral. You're done for. You're not allowed.
This shotgun will sort you right out, mate.
Taking cover.
Backup units to my location.
Shit. Where are they?
Oh,
Right,
that
I'm taking a look.
bloody nose. Oh, I'm pinned down. Help! I'm hit. Hit the suspect. Ross, I'm hit. Thought I had him. Come on, you dodgy shit. Careful. Just fire. Come on. Get in.
Direct hit!
Think you're hard?
Finding cover! This will end badly for you.
That opening right there looks like a good exit point. That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all. Right, get comfy. This Spiderbot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. That's Dalton's mask. It must have been recovered from Parliament. It might be the only thing left of him now. every fuck would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening.
Who decided they couldn't be trusted to do their jobs? Suddenly some corporation could clean up our streets better than the same police force who have both who knows how long. They won't fight in streets like a business. Crime will never go away. That'll be bad for business, right? But don't help Albion has our best interests at heart.
If the police could handle their job, Albion would be less. But they can't. Home bodies is a perfect example. Lazy, overpaid cops are asleep at the wheel. Well, they're not at the wheel anymore, are they?
You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
Got it.
Scanning Spiderbot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
Fine.
Civilians are encouraged to stay indoors and limit travel during high-risk hours.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
A secret location? None of this makes sense. We better go check it out.
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates. The GPS history of the Spiderbot we recovered regularly pings these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
It's remote. Good place to fly under the radar.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Now to find a way in.
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside.
Well, tiddle me bollocks. It's like a wee little cop station here. What's it doing, I wonder?
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
Sure, I'm with you. But what were they working on that would lead them to the town bombing?
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former Inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I? Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal. I don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these immigrants, deportees, victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why? It all comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale, and her investigation led her to the bombings.
This is all starting to come together. I knew Albion were grade A cunts, but working with Clan Kelly gives them something to hide.
It seems like 0 Days Web covers all of the unsavory bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
They're taking people off the streets. 0 Day or not, we have to do something.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.